I want to ask you something. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and your passion was gone? I mean, genuinely gone. You no longer felt excited about the thing you've been telling everyone you love. Would your business survive? If the answer is no, then you don't have a business. You have a mood. For the last 20 years, the most repeated piece of business advice on the planet has been this: follow your passion. You've heard it from teachers, from motivational speakers, from people who wrote books about it, from people on stages in front of thousands. Follow your passion and the money will come. And I understand why it sounds right. It feels true. It's inspiring. It makes people feel like their dreams are valid. But here is the problem. The market doesn't care about your passion, not even a little bit. The market, meaning the people who would actually pay you money, they wake up every single day with problems they need solved. Bills they need to manage. Time they need to save. Pain they need to get rid of. Goals they're trying to reach. They are not sitting there waiting for someone who is passionate to show up. They are waiting for someone who can help them. Those are two very different things. Here's the first thing I need you to understand. Passion is one of the most unreliable foundations you can build a business on. Why? Because passion fluctuates. Think about it. You may have remembered something you were absolutely obsessed with 5 years ago. Something that consumed you. You talked about it constantly. You read everything you could find about it. You were convinced this was it. This was the thing. Where is that feeling now? For most people, it's faded. Life got in the way. The novelty wore off. Something else caught your attention. That's not failure. That's just human nature. Passion comes and goes like weather. But a business, a real business, needs to work on a Tuesday morning when you slept badly. It needs to work when you're tired of it. It needs to work when it's boring. It needs to work when nobody is watching and nobody is clapping. Passion doesn't show up for those moments, but discipline does. Skills do. Systems do. The most dangerous version of this is the person who starts a business purely because they love something. And then the moment that business gets hard, the moment it stops feeling exciting, they assume something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Business is supposed to get hard. The people who build something lasting aren't the ones who love it the most. They're the ones who kept going when they didn't. Let me show you how the market actually works. Picture these two people. First person is passionate about fitness. They love working out. They've been training for years. They post their workouts on social media because they love it. They start a personal training business because they're passionate about it. Person B doesn't particularly love fitness, but they've noticed something. Every person they know over 40 is struggling with the same problem. They want to lose weight, but they have no time. Some have bad knees, and they've tried every program and failed. Person B builds a training system specifically for busy people over 40 with joint problems. Who do you think builds the bigger business? Person B, every time. Not because they're more passionate, but because they're more useful. They identified a specific problem, a specific group of people, a specific pain that wasn't being solved well, and they built something to solve it. That is what the market rewards. Not excitement, not love, not enthusiasm, but usefulness. People buy solutions to their problems. They do not buy your excitement about providing them. There is something more powerful than passion that nobody talks about enough, and that is mastery. When you get genuinely good at something, when you develop a skill to a level where you can solve problems that other people can't, something interesting happens. You start to enjoy it. Not because you were passionate about it from the start, but because competence creates its own satisfaction. There is a deep, quiet confidence that comes from being excellent at something. Cal Newport, a researcher who studied this for years, found that the people who reported the highest levels of career satisfaction were not the ones who followed their passion. They were the ones who got so good at something that the world couldn't ignore them. So instead of asking yourself, what am I passionate about? Ask yourself this: what problem can I solve better than most people? What skill can I develop that the market will pay for? What does someone need that I am positioned to give them? That is the question that builds businesses. Passion is the reward that sometimes comes after the work, not the reason for it. I'm not telling you passion is worthless. I want to be clear about that. If you are passionate about something and there is a market for it, that is genuinely powerful. That combination, genuine interest plus real demand, is one of the best positions you can be in. But passion alone, without demand, is just an expensive hobby with a good story attached to it. The smart move, is to start with demand. Find out what people are already spending money on. Find out what problems they are already trying to solve. Find out where the gap is between what exists and what they actually need. Then position yourself in that gap. And as you build, as you get better, as you solve more problems, as you see the impact you're having on people, the passion often follows. You grow into it. But it starts with the market, always. Don't build a business around what excites you and hope the world catches up. Build around what the world already needs and let the excitement grow from the results. So let me bring this back to you directly. If you are sitting on a business idea right now, or you've been trying to figure out what kind of business to start, stop asking yourself what you're passionate about and start asking these 3 questions instead. 1. What problem does this solve? Now, number 2 is, who specifically has this problem? And are they already spending money trying to fix it? Next is 3. Can I deliver the solution better, faster, or more specifically than what already exists? If you can answer all 3 of those, you have a business worth building. If you can't, it doesn't matter how passionate you are. The market will not care. I'll leave you with this. Some of the wealthiest people I've studied, people who built real, lasting businesses, didn't start out loving what they built. They started out seeing a problem that irritated them, a gap that frustrated them, something that wasn't working the way it should. They didn't follow their passion. They followed the problem. And somewhere along the way, after the hard work, after the failures, after the growth, many of them fell in love with what they built. But love came after the work, not before. Passion without profit is just an expensive hobby with a good story. Build around what the world needs. Grow into what you love. That's it from me. You know what to do.